Hey there everybody, it's Alan here from Alan's BMX, and today we're talking about the Talker Pro X. Now the Talker Pro X was introduced in 1983, famously ridden of course by Tommy Brackens, Mike Miranda, Richie Anderson amongst others, and I actually rode one after Robinson at the very end of my... The frame was really game-changing at the time because Talker's LP and the LPX frames were definitely well past their sell-by date in terms of geometry and top tube length and everything else. So let's get straight into it. So yeah, this is the bike that the last time I rode this was at the... actually I didn't ride it. The last time I didn't ride it was at the infamous Slough World Championships in 1986, where we didn't ride, we boycotted the event, but that's a story for another time, but that's the last time I rode it. This is the actual frame and fork that I used then, and wheels I believe. But I think all the rest of the parts, except the grips maybe, and I do have the original Talker T-bar handlebars. We swapped them out when we were doing a high road event a few years ago. I just haven't put them back on again. But the stem pad, number plate, the hutch pedals, you know, they're all my original parts from 1986. And yeah, compared to ride at the Robinson, definitely different. The main difference, and I know Mike Miranda talked about this, is the longer back end took a lot of getting used to, because the Robinson with the loop tail and the short back end, for starts, that thing was awesome. And this thing comparatively, although more stable out on the track, wasn't as quick out the gate. So you can probably tell here that I've filed the dropouts quite a bit to be able to move them forward. Subsequently, when I fitted a new chain a few years ago, we moved it back into a more neutral position, but I had this fully slammed back in the day. Yeah, headset, SST dirt skirt, these Peregrine cranks that are on the bike I didn't use. Probably sometime in the 90s when we couldn't get flight cranks for whatever reason. I used these, and as you probably know, they are really rare. A Mirage Power Disc, Cashimax Aero, yeah, 901 brakes, front and rear of course, Suntour stem, and of course the original Talker Mirage number plate. Just an interesting note on the number plate. We have found a handful of these stickers, original stickers, not reproductions. So we are thinking if there's a way of being able to do some of these for our 45th anniversary in 2026. And if we do make them available, you will be able to get some in the USA via Talker. So yeah, any of you who've been following us, you can see that we've been doing some Talker builds to inspire you. You know, sometimes you just look at a frame and fork and you're like, yeah, but when you see it built up as a complete bike, you know, how you had it back in the day, or how you would have liked your bike back in the day, that makes a big difference. We've done quite a few of the EK builds, and also the LP Freestyle and the LP Race. So when I was thinking about doing a Pro X build, and I was doing a little bit of research online, I found this guy on BMX Museum, JT Freestyle, shout out to him, and also to the fantastic work that the guys at BMX Museum do, preserving the history of BMX. Without them, a lot of this stuff would just be getting lost in the ether. So, you know, respect to you. Anyway, this guy had, he actually had Tommy Brackens' complete bike from 1984, along with his jersey and Max pants and a few other bits and pieces. So that kind of got me thinking, now that with this second run of the Talker frames that came in white, maybe we should do a Tommy Brackens replica. So yeah, check it out. Here it is, 2025. I never thought I'd be saying that. Talker Pro X Tommy Brackens replica. We've taken a lot of the cues from Tommy's original bike. Obviously, some things, well, obviously, you know, the frame's the new version of the frame, but I'll talk about that first. The idea with the new Talkers is to keep, you know, the twin top tube and all those classic lines, and the things like the Pro X unique gusset behind the bottom bracket and the little red line style gusset here. which always used to crack. Mine's actually cracked, but I'm sure these don't, just saying. But updating it with modern integrated headset, V-brakes, and a threaded European bottom bracket. Now, why the threaded European bottom bracket and not American bottom bracket, I hear you ask. Well, no one's putting a one-piece crank on one of these, and that's really what American bottom bracket was designed for. So just like the EK frame back in the day, these bikes are designed for three-piece cranks, threaded, they assemble a lot easier, and if you haven't got a cut press tool, pieces of wood and hammering and swearing and all that, you don't need that. Those just assemble all nicely and look super trick. So yeah, we took a lot of the cues from Tommy's bike. Obviously we didn't have the Powerlite handlebars. These are actually an Easton bar, but I think they're a 9.25 rise. One thing we can do, you know, hallelujah to Amy for still doing these, Amy dual grips. So these are the exact grips that Tommy rode on his bike in 1984. These look exactly the same. You know, they've got the bubble font logo. They look amazing. Obviously, Tommy's bike had caliper brakes back in the day, and he used a Diacompi MX-1000, I believe, and a longer mountain bike lever, but we've set this up with a Diacompi Diatec MX2 matching V-brake and V-brake lever, and it works absolutely awesome, so you know you're going to stop. One thing I forgot to mention was about the top tube lengths. These come in different sizes. The Pro XL, which is this one, is 21.25. So for example, this is 21.25. The original, I believe, is about 19.5. So it's almost 2 inches longer. So what that means is the bike's a lot more stable. If you've not been using a 20-inch for a few years and you want to get one of these, you want to keep the purity of the 20-inch wheels, and you know, I totally get that, and you don't want to go to one of the bigger wheel offerings from Torque, as awesome as they are, this is a solution. So if you think a 20-inch wheel bike, you'll be like banging your knees. You know, if you're 6 foot, you're going to be okay on this. If you're taller, they're doing Pro Double XL version, which is 21.75. So yeah, keep that in mind. Anyway, going back onto the componentry, I think Tommy had like some rims and a higher end, like a Campag hub or something. But we've custom built these wheels with some Ringley Rhino XL rims, chrome plated, as you can see, look beautiful. And we've got these large flange Suntour Suzuki style hubs, which just look perfect. 36 hole, of course. Halo stainless spokes, which we always use in our builds, the best quality. Big shout out to Halo and for the support with our race team. But yeah, it's the best stuff. Never have spokes breaking on these things. Black nipples to set off the look. We've got a Torque 6-bolt stem on this. Torque do a 4-bolt, slightly shorter stem, but this is basically the Pro stem. I think Tommy might have ran a Pro neck or a Tough neck, but we couldn't resist putting the Torque stem on there. It looks great. Obviously, with all the modern technology, this is a clamp-on 1.1 inch, so you're not like every time you stop, you tighten your headset up. Forget that, it's all fitted together super nice with the A-head system, so that's super cool. I think Tommy ran a Sella Turbo Italia saddle, which we have actually got reissues of now, but not in white, so it had to be white. But I had a bit of a look around, and we had some of these really beautiful Cashimax MRS2 seats. So we put one of those on, and we used a modern micro adjust seat post, 27.2. One thing we were quite fortuitous with was the seat clamp. Tommy ran a Hutch seat clamp back in the day. I was a bit surprised when I saw this on the specification list because they never, if you had one back in the day, you'll know they never clamped all that well. You were cranking and cranking these things up, yeah, they were always moving. But the new ones are okay. So these have just been reissued, and it just came in one size, and they were all good to go. So yeah, we've got that. Tommy had Profile cranks, the original Profile race cranks, 48 spline, and as you probably know, Profile Racing do reissue these from time to time, but we're in that fallow period where there aren't any. So it would have been super cool to be able to put those on it, but we didn't have them, so what could you do? The cranks we've used, the GT Power Series chromoly cranks, 175mm, and they were originally manufactured by Profile and GT stamped. But GT have had these remade, but you know, I thought, well, it's a Profile style crank, it looks pretty good. It's still a high end, it's 48 spline, it's not an 8 spline crank, so we went with that. We did use the Profile Retro Spider, however, exactly the same as Tommy ran on his bike. Suntour XC2 pedals with custom filed cages. The closest thing we had when we did this build was these Wellgo style XC2s. However, subsequently, like i.e. yesterday, we just got the new MKS reissue XC3 pedals. As you know, these were made by Suntour. Suntour doesn't exist in its existing form, so the guys at MKS in collaboration with somebody have redone those pedals. Comp 3 tyres, of course, the new reissue skim walls, 175 on the rear, 2125 on the front. That's the Torca Pro X. This is the 20-inch version, comes in those different sizes. Have a look at the spec of this bike at allensbmx.com. If you wanted a bike building up to your own specification, the bikes themselves come in white and chrome. As you probably know, doing custom stuff is what we're all about. So if you came to us and you wanted something, you had an idea to do something like really special, speak to us and I'm sure we'll be able to make it happen. We ship worldwide as well before you ask. And yeah, Torca Pro X, 20-inch. And if you want the bigger wheel version, we've got the new 24-inch as well. The second version of them got a slightly lower standover height to make it probably a little bit more suitable if you were going to race it. But there we go, Torca Pro X, Tommy Bracken's replica.